Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing not only this bulletproof but bomb-proof Toyota Land Cruiser, the most reliable and the most tank-like vehicle on the planet now. Before we get in this video, I'm going to give you a huge shout out and thank you to Armor Max for giving me some time with this Land Cruiser. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they are all about. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. First off, powering this Land Cruiser is a 5.7 liter V8, super reliable. It puts out 381 horsepower and then 401 pound-feet of torque. Now this has like all of the possible armoring you can get. So you guys can see here, for example, to protect, like this is for the battery to protect it. So, and you can see it's like fully encased here. It is crazy, even the firewall as well. So this build that you guys will see throughout the video is the max when it comes to armoring, hence Armor Max, right? Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So another thing I forgot to mention earlier is we're also going to have the radiator protection. And I mean, you can see kind of through the grill if I like really pop the camera in here with the armoring. This is what is called level 7 with the armoring, so this is as crazy as it gets, and hence that's why you have the bomb-proof aspect with it as well. But the thing I think is really cool about this Land Cruiser is you cannot tell whatsoever on the exterior that this is armored. And I mean, you can see like I showed you with the grill, like you really have to come in and look really close and look between to tell that it's armored, because when you just take a few steps back, it looks like any other Land Cruiser on the road. Now this isn't part of the armoring, but I do think that it's cool with the all-terrain tires. So this is a little tank that could go anywhere because of that. But notice some of the stock stuff with this, just the side steps and everything, so you still get to keep that stuff. So it still has the stock Land Cruiser appearance. But now let's dive into the fun stuff. So popping into the hatch area here, you guys can see we still have the whole tailgate set up, but now we have what I will call the vault. So it is lockable, but you can see that door opens, and you got this side door here as well. And yes, the glass is here to make it so the driver can still see out the back. But yeah, I mean, you've got the third row area or the storage area that's fully encased. It's pretty crazy looking. I mean, this is some heavy duty equipment, let me tell you. And the click sound here, it's like a nice satisfying sound. Kind of reminds me of the G-Wagon a little bit when you close that. But anyways, this is normal. By the way, these parts aren't armored because this thing is armored right here. And now we're gonna pop into the passenger cabin. So first off, the doors with this are extremely heavy. Now, a big part of that is the glass. You guys can see 3 inches thick. Now, the windows are not operable up and down. I mean, you can see it literally extends over the door panel because of how thick the glass is. But yeah, I mean, that's like as much protection as you could get. But this has some luxury stuff. We got TVs here in the back. So while you're in your bulletproof Toyota tank, you still have TVs. And then being a Land Cruiser, you've got the nice leather seats. And I like how we've got this like desert colored interior here. I feel like it's very fitting with the Land Cruiser theme. And popping into the front, you can see the same setup here with the door panel. And it's just a very interesting look to see the window kind of come over the trim here. Now this is pretty cool. You can see that the sunroof might be a quote-unquote weak point of a vehicle because, you know, maybe it's something that you might not think about with armoring because it's not on the front or the side of the vehicle. But with this one, it's kind of an interesting story. So the glass itself is not armored, but there's armored plating underneath the sunroof. So that's where the protection comes from. And because of that particular setup, you actually, if I pop in here, can't open even up the sunshade. So it's completely sealed, which is very interesting. So you can see right here with this trim that's been added, this is to cover up more armoring. If I squeeze it, you guys can see it's kind of like a tough point right there. So that's just going to make it match the rest of the interior. And then I do want to mention one more thing about the sunroof. They can make it so that this shade opens. With this particular one, the customer commissioned that it does not open. That's just kind of part of this particular build. And we're going to start this up so you guys can see Land Cruiser stuff. That's pretty fun if you ask me. like the little animation right there. But yeah, this has all the normal Land Cruiser stuff. So you guys can see we've got like the cooled seats here. Looks like we don't have heated seats. This one is a Middle Eastern spec with this particular one. They make Land Cruisers for different areas of the world. But we still have all like the crawl control and all that kind of stuff. Center locking differential, ECD power. Like it has all the normal Land Cruiser stuff. I'm actually interested to see with the center console here if it still has the refrigerator. Yeah, we got the refrigerator center console. So it still has that whole setup. So you still get this even though you've got bulletproof everything. Well, let us set off in this armored Land Cruiser. This, if there was any vehicle on the planet outside of an actual tank, it is an actual tank. It is this. It's crazy because, again, so the Land Cruiser is extremely popular all around the world. I mean, it's pretty popular in the US too, but like other people around the world appreciate the Land Cruiser way more than us Americans do, and for good reason. Super reliable, right? That 5.7 V8 will survive the apocalypse. And then on top of that, it is extremely capable off-road, right? There's a lot of places that you won't, like, you know, there's a lot of infrastructure nowadays everywhere else, but there's still a lot of places where you need to do quite a bit of off-roading. And so with the capability that this has, it's great. So it's like it can get you places and it can get you there reliably. Like you don't ever have to worry about this. And then on top of that, this thing with the armoring, I mean, it's a literal tank. So first off, you feel the weight. Like the doors, I mean, these are the heaviest doors that I have experienced. I mean, it's pretty dang crazy. Just opening and closing, it's like you almost feel like you have to go to the gym just to be able to open and close the doors. And then with driving it around, it has this just heavy, substantial feel to it. It's really cool. It's really cool. You really do feel like you're driving around in, like, and again, this, I mean, I would say that this is a tank at this point. When you get up to level 7 armoring, when you have glass that's as thick as this is, it's a tank at this point. And so, yeah, it's cool to drive this around. Like you know, people talk about this in cars where like you drive a car and you feel like you're, you know, like with G-Wagons and stuff, you feel like you're driving a tank. But with this, like knowing the fact that like you could, like, not like nothing's gonna, I shouldn't say nothing, but like the fact that this has so much protection that someone could throw like tons of things at you and it's like you'll be fine. It's pretty cool if you ask me. And then something else that I'm noticing with this is with the braking system on it. Even though this is pretty heavy, it doesn't feel like it's struggling. And then you know, with the power, it all, again, that's another thing where it doesn't feel like there is a struggle at all. It has more than enough. And I'll get kind of like a more of an acceleration up here in a moment, but yeah, I really like how this drives. This is so cool. I feel like this would be the perfect vehicle to just, I don't know, it just, again, like I said, you can go anywhere with this. This is the, I'll call it, this is like the safest drive ever. That's what this vehicle, that's what this feels like, is it feels like the safest possible vehicle. Got the reliability and the protection. I'd be interested to see, like, long-term, what kind of fuel economy this gets with the big V8 and the armoring. Like how much range you have on a tank and everything. How much range does the tank have on a tank? But and it doesn't. I mean, this handles pretty dang well. Like again, it's a big. You feel the weight a bit, but like it doesn't feel overwhelming. It doesn't feel like I have to go at 2 miles an hour to go around a corner, right? So yeah, this is cool. Guess we'll kind of get into it here a bit. I mean, it's not like full throttle, but it's not, and this engine's not about being the fastest. This engine is more about just giving you just like enough power to get up and move, you know, do what you're doing. So to cap things off, I think that this is by far, I mean, I've reviewed a lot of cool armored vehicles. Some of the memorable ones, like the G-Wagon that I reviewed that had the shocking door handles. That was pretty crazy. That was a cool one, but I think this is the, I don't know, I think this is the coolest one because it doesn't have all of like the fancy flashy stuff that you'll see with some armored vehicles. Like it doesn't have the shocking door handles, it doesn't have the strobe lights and all that. But what it does have is this insane tank-like feel, and again, it's built off of a vehicle that is super reliable and can go anywhere. And so yeah, I guess if armored Land Cruiser, if you wanted to go anywhere and you wanted to be protected while going anywhere, that would be the vehicle to go for. So let me know what you guys think about this build.